Okay, we're on the physical and chemical changes lab. We're taking a look at tests 1 through 6. In part one, we're observing changes of substances when they are heated. And if you take a look, we've got an aluminum tray, and we're going to put the liquid or the solid crystals in here. And we're going to use a match. We'll hold it close to the substance, and then you're going to record your observations before heating, during heating, and after heating, and then we'll put the used matches in this beaker, and we're starting with water. So you can see this is just liquid water. You need to record some observations before heating. Some ideas for recording observations before heating would be things like, does it have a distinct color? What's its state of matter at room temperature? Does it have an odor, which you obviously can't tell through video, but I can convey that to you. And during heating, is there some sort of a color change that you notice? Do bubbles form? Things like that are the things that, does it melt? Does it catch on fire? And then what it looks like after you heat it. So first what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and, I held it a little too close there. So I'm not really getting anything. If you hold it underneath, you might be able to heat up the water enough to where it starts to bubble. Okay, so that's your water. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take some ethanol, and we're going to put very little ethanol into this aluminum tray. Okay, and ethanol looks a lot like water, colorless liquid at room temperature. It has a distinct smell, like an alcoholish smell to it that water doesn't have. Okay, and that was ethanol. And then you have sodium chloride, which is table salt. And table salt looks like this. I'm just going to put a little bit into the aluminum tray. Okay, so now you've got the table salt. And you'll notice the table salt, some of it melted. When it was heated, it turned colors. It's almost a yellow, light brownish color. And it smells kind of burnt. Okay? And then we're going to take sucrose, which is table sugar. Sucrose looks a lot like table salt. It's white. It's a crystalline solid, room temperature. Okay, the only difference is that sugar, when we heat it, It appears to change colors, like a yellowish color, light brown color, and it smells sweet when it burns. Sodium chloride did not smell sweet. And then we have wax. Wax is white, solid, at room temperature. And if I heat it, it begins to soften and melt. Okay. So again, this was the water that we had heated. Okay, doesn't really look any different. The ethanol, there's no more ethanol after we heated it. Sodium chloride changed color slightly, yellowish light brown, and melted. This is the table salt sucrose. It turned kind of a yellowish brown color, and this smelled sweet when it burned. This is the wax, which melted. And then the very last one, we've got the copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate. This is a really pretty blue crystalline solid. So here you can see what it looks like before we've heated it. And then when you heat copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate, it might be difficult to see, but some of those crystals have turned colors. They've turned kind of a white, maybe gray, or maybe like a little bit brown. It smells a little bit metallic when it burns. And that was tests 1 through 6.